I dispute that the characterizations about his memory that were in the report are accurate, because they're not. That's the President Biden that so many of us experience every single day. Someone who's asking the tough questions so that we as staff can be sharp to do our job best for the American people. I know I only interacted with him on limited occasions, and I believe the first meeting that I was in with him was early 2024.
And then how often would you say that you interacted with the president in person?
I interacted with him pretty infrequently.
So weekly, monthly, what are we talking about?
Very infrequent. I think I met with the president a handful of times during my tenure in the White House.
Okay, first that was Joe Biden's top spokesman, Ian Sams, claiming he personally saw Joe Biden, met with him all the time, but then admitting in testimony to House Oversight he only personally met with Joe Biden just twice, 2 times in 2 years. Joining us now, Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, what is going on here? It's great to see you again. You know, you and I talked about how tightly Jill Biden and Biden's insiders circled the wagons around Biden to keep him out of sight. But this is his face to the media, misleading America for years. Biden was okay, not in cognitive decline. He only met with him twice in 2 years.
Yeah, Liz, I wish I could say I was shocked, but it's actually not surprising on some level. I mean, Ian Sams, along with Karine Jean-Pierre, were the 2 leading Biden administration officials who pushed the cheap fake narratives around Joe Biden, like we see here on the screen, shortly before that disastrous debate in June of 2024 that led to Biden being ousted from the party in terms of his nomination. I mean, this is utterly remarkable, especially when it comes to Sams, because he so piously defended Biden's cognitive state at every turn. And it turns out that the White House chef probably had more conversations with Biden than Ian Sams, his top spokesman, did. I mean, this is just utterly craptastic, Liz, the only word that comes to mind right now.
Well, it's cable, so you're allowed to say it. Okay, let's get your reaction to this.
Thank you.
Watch this Australian reporter from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, Sarah Ferguson, repeatedly calling out Kamala Harris to stop dodging her questions on Biden's cognitive decline with word salads. Watch this.
Wasn't his refusal to recognize his own frailties the reason that you faced a nearly impossible task?
Donald Trump ran on a platform that was in large part, I believe, misrepresenting his intentions to the American people.
I want to interrupt you because that is a world-class pivot, but it is not the question that I asked you, which is about Joe Biden's failure to recognize his own frailties and what that did to you. The question is about Joe Biden. Are you still reluctant to criticize the former president?
In what regard, please?
Well, just in terms of that question, was it Joe Biden's decision, his failure to recognize his own frailties in that position, that put you in the position that made it almost impossible to win that race?
I've never doubted that he had the capacity to be president of the United States. I believed that were I to raise it with the president, it would have been so completely, it would have appeared to be so completely self-serving that it would have been counterproductive.
And yet you now call it reckless.
I think that in retrospect, it was a conversation I should have raised, even if it were ill-received.
Okay, Joe, gosh, you need GPS to get your way out of this one. First she's saying, you know, he was fine. Then she's saying basically she was reckless, right, for not raising the issue sooner, that he was in decline.
Yeah. I mean, Liz, can we hire Sarah Ferguson? Is she available where she could come to Fox? Because that's how it's done. I felt like I was watching the old 60 Minutes. Professional, respectful, but at the same time, following up with common sense questions whenever Kamala's, human Chernobyl word salads began to come out around her contradicting herself in her own sentences, saying, well, on one hand, he could have served for 4 years. On the other hand, it was reckless that he decided that he wanted to serve for another 4 years. I mean, did Kamala, during her entire book tour here, Liz, in the United States, did we see one interviewer follow up in that way, the way that Sarah Ferguson did from Australia? Because that's how it's done. Democrat, Republican, it does not matter. If you try to spin, you try to pivot, you don't answer the original question when you're called to task to do so, then you should be called out on it until you do. And did you see the look on Kamala's face?
Yeah,
it was almost at a shock.
Didn't like
because
it.
usually here,
the
interviews, are the equivalent of a rhetorical hot stone massage.
Right.
So, I don't think she'll be going
you.
back to ABC Australia anytime soon.
Joe Concha, thank you so much.